All right, good afternoon. I just hit the recording button because I had a couple of people who knew that they had duties after school, and they were gonna be able to join late or have to watch later. So I am recording, so just keep that in mind. If you need to have your cameras turned off because of different things going on in your space, that is okay. But can everybody hear me okay and see me? I'm seeing some thumbs up. Thank you. Okay. So you'll notice in the chat, I do have a pinned link, and that is access to the slides. And so if you wanted to go ahead and take a look at the slideshow, I encourage you to do that, but I will share my screen in just a second. So go ahead and access that. It is a public view link, and you'll see that there are a lot of slides. There's always so much to cover, and it's really hard to do this in 30 minutes, but that is what we're going to try to do. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Let's see. Okay. All right, there we go. All right. So this is our first monthly after school tech PD. Of course, these are optional, but I'm glad to see so many of you here. And we will get a lot covered. So we're going to just go ahead and start rolling. I am going to ask that if you have questions, if you will drop those in the chat, and then I'll try to address those as I can. Or if you have answers that you can help, that would be also very helpful. So we are talking about lesson planning with AI today. So look at our agenda. We do have a lot to cover. Please, before you leave, access the exit ticket and make sure that you are filling it out so that I can give you credit for being here. So I'll explain that just a little bit more later. Again, the slideshow is linked. It's pinned in the chat. So if people join late, they can access that. So of course, everything that drives what we are doing with our AI in Transylvania County is coming from the North Carolina guidelines. And so those are linked here. And you'll notice if you open that up, this is a living document. And you'll see in the first couple of pages that there have been lots of updates. And the most recent update was just last month. And so just please continue to look at that as you are doing anything with AI with students. This is for pre-K through 12th grade, all of our public schools. And so it's a wealth of knowledge that does lots of the driving force behind what we do. Along with that, our new strategic plan, I don't know if you have taken a look at that or not, but our Transylvania County Schools strategic plan, one of our goals, goal 1.3, is focused on ensuring that all students gain experience with artificial intelligence, recognizing it as a critical competency across all future careers. And so I had somebody recently ask me, why are we doing anything with artificial intelligence in public schools and in Transylvania County schools? And it's just, it's hard to just kind of say, well, why not? This is the future our kids are going into. And so if you'll take a look at some of those action items and key measures in our metrics. And so we're trying to do a lot more with artificial intelligence in our classrooms with our students, and not necessarily just computer science classes, but all across the board, all content areas, all grade levels. Okay? So those are linked if you wanted to look at more details about our strategic plan. Also, we do have a generative AI literacy plan, and you can look at that. We have a vision, specific goals. And as you are looking through, I did break that into literacy goals for students in K-5. And you'll see in just a second, a lot of the usage of AI in elementary is going to be teacher-led. So just keep that in mind if you are K-5. A lot of it's going to come from you and what you do in front of students that you're modeling and you're showing. And your ed tech coaches at the elementary level will have some other specific ideas and lessons that you can do. Then there are specific goals for grades 6-12, and this is where students are getting their hands on a little bit more AI tools. Okay. You will see that we have approved AI tools broken down by grade span. And this is, again, one of those little notes where I'm saying K-5, it's best for elementary teachers to model AI use and teach students about it. And your ed tech coaches will be doing a little bit more, but just keep that in mind. Students can engage with some tools, but make sure it is under teacher supervision. And then it is not recommended that students engage with chatbots at the elementary level. So we are trying to protect them 6-8, we open up a little bit more, and then 9-12, we have opened up a little bit more. Okay. That is following NCDPI and that guideline document that I shared with you earlier. Okay. Again, you have access to all these slides, so I'm not going to read it all to you, but you can kind of look back through all these as resources as you are going. I want to remind you, I've shared this with some people already, but I want to remind you about the student usage continuum. And so this is something that I want you to think about. You might want to create something very similar in your own classroom or your grade level or your school, kind of just depending on your situation. But think about, now that AI is here more and that we've opened up some things for students, it's almost where every assignment is an AI assignment. So before you freak out about that, think about how you're going to handle it. Once you start assigning things to students, you might want to say, hey, this is a level 0. There's no AI use on this one. And we'll kind of go through, you might want to tell your students, this is a level 1. And again, depending on the age level of your students, they might need to be told every assignment. I'm thinking especially high school at this point, they need to be told, you cannot use AI on this, because if you don't tell them, they don't know. So keep that in mind. So of course, a level 0 is no AI. Okay, and if they were to use AI, they are violating policies. So when we talk about a level 1, this is AI assisted, and you can see brainstorming, planning, and feedback. Okay, no AI content allowed in the final submission. And of course, if whatever they're creating, they need to tell you, hey, I used Canva to help me create this image, or I used Gemini for some of the high schoolers to help me create brainstorm and come up with an outline. Okay. Level 2 is a little bit more. This is AI enhanced. This is a lot of how teachers are using AI right now. You're still keeping yourself in the loop, the human in the loop kind of part. So you're doing a little bit more. It's creating a little bit more for you. And then of course our infinity level is AI empowered. It's actually creating things. So this would be maybe later on down the line. I would not start with anything here. So as you are creating lesson plans, I wouldn't start with, I want to do this activity. I want students to have free reign with AI here. So kind of build up to it. But this is something that you do want to think about when you are assigning activities and lessons to students. I wanted to show you, this is an adaptation of that continuum. Some buddies in Stokes County created this example. You can pop this out. You can click on the continuum adaptation words and make your own copy. Like I said earlier, if you wanted to make your version for your classroom or for your grade level, depending on kind of what you want. But then as we start using AI more and more, remember, you can tell students, hey, this is a level 0, or this is level 1, and that kind of thing. And so it gives you a little bit more of a description as well as disclosure. And Stokes County broke this into K-5, and then there's one for 6-12. So just to kind of depending on your situation, you could make one for your grade level, your content, or whatever you're doing there. Okay. All right. Keep in mind that no matter how little or how much you and your students are using AI, that we still have to keep in mind these digital literacy skills. And so I just wanted to keep this in mind, or keep this in front of you. Digital Citizenship Week is coming up in a couple of weeks. And so we'll talk about this a little bit more with students. But just things to keep in mind that, as we were trying to make future ready graduates, no matter what grade level you are working with, these are important things. Adapting to new technologies is huge right now because this AI is still new. It's changing every day. We can't even keep up with what's going on. And so we want our students to be prepared and able to adapt. A lot of times they are better at adapting than we are as the educators, but just keep this in the back of your mind as you are creating things. Okay, I've got a couple more slides and then we're going to kind of mess and play with some things. As you are using generative AI, keep in mind that, of course, there's the good and the bad. So if you can just take a look at some of the good things that they can do, generating ideas. I still use generative AI as a thought partner sometimes, just to kind of push me or give me ways of thinking about things that I wouldn't have by myself. They are good at automating certain tasks, really good at language support, some personalization, but keep in mind they're bad at the factual information. Not really good at citing sources, so make sure that you are double checking those kinds of things. Okay. Although they're getting better, they're still not great at keeping up with recent and current information. And so when we talk about student AI literacy, those are the things that even if you are using AI with your students, they still have to go back and fact check. Okay, so it's just that cycle. It's a powerful tool, even though it's not a teacher replacement. So we're looking at exploring and creating and differentiation when we are using AI. I know I'm going fast through my slides. One more thing, redefining our roles. We're talking about, AI is not going to replace us, but we just have to think about things differently. So we have to coach students how to use it responsibly. They keep talking about when we started using the internet, it was just open and we didn't really teach people how to use the internet. But with AI, we have to teach people how to prompt, how to evaluate it, how to use it to benefit us instead of just replacing us. So keep that kind of thing in mind. AI is here to support us, to provide feedback. And then students, look at this, they are experts in training, because a lot of these students are going to go into jobs that we don't know about yet, or the jobs that we think they're going to end up doing are going to change dramatically. Okay, so here's where I want you just to kind of take a look at what's going on. So this is the tool that I wanted you to play with today. So Vera Cubero created this assistant to help you think about integrating AI into your lesson plan. So before you do this, I just want you to watch. So I'm going to click this and it's going to take me to a new tab. We're using ChatGPT first. And so if you have not used ChatGPT before, I want to tell you, make sure that you are logged in so that it will save your progress. So when you first open this up, in just a little bit when I tell you to go, it gives you a little bit of information about it. And normally when you use ChatGPT, you are going to click down here where it says ask anything. On this one, don't do that. On this one, I want you to click I'm ready to get started. So when you click that, it will go through some of the back end of what's created in this GPT. So it's telling you about the 0 to infinity integration scale. It's reminding you about the different levels like we were looking at on that stoplight earlier. And it's asking you specific information. And so what you're going to do when you use this one is you're going to answer these questions right here. So once you click get started, you're going to answer these questions. So I've got some examples, let's see, that I had prepped. So I'm going to copy that. I'll come back to this screen. Okay. So what I want to start with is a level 1. I want students to be able to use just a little bit of AI, but not all the way that infinity. And I'm going to say second grade, because it's saying the grade level of your students. The subject area, I'm going to say science. Again, you notice I'm not using complete sentences. I'm not using anything very specific, but I am going to include my standards. And so this one says, summarize the life cycle of animals, and then remember the animals need air, water, food, and shelter. Okay. Oops, I copied too much from my text. I'm sorry. I know that's a lot. I'm sorry. Let me delete all that. Okay. All right. So if I give it just that little bit, I could give more details if I wanted to talk about how, some of the special needs that are in my class or class dynamics, maybe if it's a bunch of rowdy boys, or if I have a couple of students who are ML students, I could also say that, but we can also do that later. But for now, I'm just going to put some of those basics, and then I'm going to hit enter for it to do its magic. And you can watch how it starts. So we're designing an AI assisted level 1 assignment for second grade science aligned with these standards. And it gives me 3 assignment ideas where students can use AI as a helper, but still create the final product themselves. So now what you're going to do is you're going to look through those and see, okay, can I work with that? Is that what I was looking for? And hopefully there's one that out of the 3 that it's going to give you that you can keep working with. So I'm going to pause right there and come back to this tab. So this is where I want you to keep in mind what we said in Transylvania County that students can use. So if I come back to our plan, as you are working with this, keep in mind, and you might want to tell the AI assistant that you're using, hey, these students need to engage with certain ones under my direction. Or you might want to tell the tool, you know what, students can't actually use anything. I have to model it myself as the teacher. And so if I come back to that example, let's see. Okay. If I come back to this example and I say, I like example 3, students can't engage with AI, themselves, but I can model it for them. Let's see what happens. So keep in mind, anytime that you're using ChatGPT, it will continue on in that conversation and it remembers what you just said. So I can look here, teacher models AI use, and it gives me some ideas. And at any point in here, I can tweak what I like and what I don't like. And so if I highlight an area that I want to mess with, I can click Ask ChatGPT, and then I can ask it to modify just that part. Okay. So I'm not seeing a whole lot in the chat right now, so I think we're okay. But I wanted to show you that tool. So again, it's one of those where it does ask you to, you click I'm ready to get started, and all you have to do is tell it these basic pieces. This is the way this one was built specifically so that you're not having to go super in depth with your prompt. Pick the AI integration level, tell it the grade level, tell it the subject area, and your standards are really important here. And if you don't know the exact standard course of study, numbers and such, you can kind of give it an overview. But the more details you have, of course, it's going to react a little bit better. Okay. All right. So come back here. Let me go back to where we were. Again, I know I'm going fast. Thanks, y'all. Okay. All right. So there's one example of an integration assistant. While you're thinking and before you get started playing with this, there are some sample lessons in this Padlet. And so if you click on this Padlet, it will take you to, whoops, sorry, my fault. If you click on the Padlet, it'll maybe just idea of where to start. So at the top, you have the continuum, and then you have 2 different tools. I did not model the AI space, the school AI space one yet, but we'll look at it in just a second. But then there are examples where other people have tested this out and they've put what they created. So you've got at the top some no AI examples. And then if you scroll, you've got level 1. And then if you keep going, you can see some level 2, just to maybe give you that kickstart that you might need. Okay. So I showed you one for 2nd grade science. So now I'm going to show you one more. Again, at any point, if you want to just kind of jump in and start playing, you can. Here's one where it's a level 1, grade 7. And then I can determine the surface area in the real world contexts. So I did not put the actual specific standards, but I put kind of what I was looking for. And again, you'll see that it is giving me 3 examples, and then I can pick from. So as I scroll, so again, I'm giving it more direction. Take example 2 and add community needs such as handicapped accessibility, popular sports, maybe depending on my situation. And you see, I can kind of keep messing, keep asking it for specific tweaks, and then include problem statements from different community members and the needs they need in a community park. And so again, you can kind of keep asking it for different things. Another example is, all right, so another example, this one is a level 2. So remember, we're using AI just a little bit more. It's not quite that infinity level, but just a little bit more. Grade 3 science, and I'm including that North Carolina objective. And you can see, again, it's going to give me 3 different examples that I can choose from. I can ask it to make me a rubric. So again, this is a great way for you to think about, okay, I want to use AI just a little bit, and I decide, a level 1, a level 2, or a little bit more. And then it's going to do a lot of that thinking for you based on what we've told it. Okay, so let's go back to the slideshow. So I've given you lots and lots of resources and ideas. Here I have an idea for ELA, getting you to start thinking about an idea for your content, because I think sometimes we just don't really know where to start. But instead of just write an argumentative essay, the AI can help me with research, maybe giving me some feedback, brainstorming counter arguments. A lot of times we don't even think about that. And I know a lot of people are just using it to revise some sentences. Students are coming up with their own thoughts, but then they put it together and they say, help me clean this up, that kind of thing. So it's almost like your personal assistant. And then, of course, like we talked about earlier, you've got to have that literacy piece cycled in. Are they fact checking it, looking for bias? And so these are conversations where you as the teacher have to have with your students, comparing human versus AI tone. Okay. So you see some more resources that I've shared with you. But now what I want to do, again, it's already 3:50. I'm showing you the exit ticket so that you don't forget. So it's here and again at the very end. But now what I want you to do is take a turn and start building and playing. And you can take yourselves off mute, ask questions, share ideas. But you'll notice there are two different planning assistants that I'm sharing with you. We do have access to ChatGPT. So that's the first one that I showed you. Just please keep in mind, you don't start typing at the bottom yet. You click on where it says, I'm ready to get started. And then you follow the prompts. And then there's another one that's a different version. It's School AI. Maybe if you want to try both of them and see. And it's, again, asking you for those specific prompts. I did link the North Carolina Standard Course of Study here in case you wanted to look for specific standards. And then I'm telling you, tweak it, continue adding to your prompts. You can redo it and update what level you want to try. Level 1, level 2, infinity. Okay. So you have those slides. So I'm going to stop sharing for just a second. And we'll come back here. Okay. So once again, I don't see any questions in the chat. I know some of you are maybe looking at the Padlet trying to get some different ideas. But I'm curious to hear maybe your ideas, your thoughts, your questions. So I'll pause for just a minute. I know a lot of people are going to go ahead and just jump in and start looking to see what it can create for you. No questions, no thoughts quite yet. Interrupt me if you need to. I'm going to go ahead and show you the other tool. So this one is a School AI space. So I'll show you that one. Here we go. All right. So if you click on the School AI space, it's going to tell you that your teacher invited you to join a space. Here, it says enter your full name, but I'm just going to put Kat. It's not my full name, but it's going to take it. So I do not need to put my full name. I do not need to create an account. And remember, like I said earlier, this is not ideal. It's not recommended for elementary. You could do it as the teacher and put it up on your screen, and you could lead the conversation and have students tell you what to put, but do not let them use it on theirs. Middle school and high school, we can do this. So then I'm going to click join space. It's going to do something very similar to the ChatGPT that we saw. It's going to walk me through some of the basics. Please provide the following details. So again, it's asking me for that level, student information, grade, subject matter, etc. So let's grab one of those that we did earlier. Let's copy that. All right, so I'll paste it in. I'll do the same thing, a level 1 for 2nd grade, and then I've entered my science standards. I'm going to click send message. So this one is a little bit more of it's a chat bot. So it's thinking, and it's going to just keep engaging with me and asking me questions. So here we go. Let's see. Oh, it didn't quite understand. So I'm going to say level 1 AI free. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted, was it? I'm sorry. That's okay. We'll see what's going on. So these level, the AI free is usually what you're already doing because we're not using AI. So let's say redo for level 2 AI assisted. So again, you're seeing that it's a thought partner. It's giving you ideas. Let's see, brainstorm with AI. This one says use an AI like a chat bot to help generate ideas about your chosen animal's life cycle stages. Ask the AI questions such as, okay, So again, these are things where elementary, you could do this up on the screen for your students, and then middle and high can use chatbots. Create a poster, survival needs. So again, this one's just going to kind of go back and forth. It always finishes with a question: would you like assistance with any additional resources or supporting for implementing this assignment? Okay. So there's what that one looks like. Have any of you messed with both of these tools, ChatGPT as well as School AI, and do you like one over the other? Take yourself off mute, can you? Very quiet, that's fine.
I'll answer. I have used both, and I still love ChatGPT the most. Just for my purposes, I feel like I talk back and forth to it a lot during the day. So I've just found for my purposes, it works better. My child wants to say hi.
Hey, Thomas.
Hi.
Thanks for sharing. We've got a couple in the chat. Some people have only used ChatGPT. Some have used both. Depends on the usage. Yep. I like School AI for creating specific chatbots for students' needs. Yes, definitely at the high school level. I think that's perfect. Good. And again, there are lots of options. ChatGPT is just the one where this this assistant was built. So that's just kind of the one that we're modeling for you today. Okay. All right, so since it is already 3:56, I know some people are still messing and playing. I do want to show you and ask you, let's see, let me get back to the exit ticket, because again, this is important. Of course, we want credit, but there's something I want to, a little bit more I want to ask you for. So share that screen. Okay, a couple of different things. So you're kind of playing, you've got both of those. Whoops, I keep clicking on that. There we go. I would love for you to add to the Padlet so that other people who are visiting the Padlet can get ideas. So you do have access to that Padlet. But then finally, when you look at the exit ticket, you'll see this throughout the year when we do different Tech Connect sessions, and it looks very familiar to what we did last year. But as you are scrolling through, right now, of course, our only option is today, lesson planning with AI. And I do want to say thanks for those of you who caught my error and I had the wrong date. So if you will, when you are filling this out, you've got your name, you've got your school base. Let me find mine so I can do it the right way. I'm going to click this. This one is through a Google Meet. And then, so same things that we did last year. You're going to explain key takeaways. You're going to target an area where you'd like more support, connect it to your classroom or role. But I want to show you, so that's why I'm putting the funny stuff. As part of our strategic plan, we are looking for specific measures of how we are meeting those goals. I've put on here at the very end of your exit ticket, want to earn more CEUs. I'm asking you to submit evidences or artifacts that you created after attending a PD session. So if you're ready, if you threw something together today, or if you're still working for the next 5-10 minutes and want to share something, go ahead and do it now. You'll notice it's not required on the form. You can submit it now, like I said, or share your evidences or artifacts with tcsitf@tcsnc.org once they're completed. So keep that in mind, and then that way we'll give you more credit for working outside of just the 30-minute rushed activity that we're doing. So you can put a link, just make sure it's shareable, or Google Doc, whatever it is that you're working on. So just keep that in mind, please. So I'll say stop sharing. And if you do for example, if you do a ChatGPT link up on the top right, there's that share button, and you can share that so that other people can benefit from it and we can see where you're using things. Okay. All right. So we have less than a minute. Again, these are always fast and furious, and I'm so sorry, but it is recorded. If you want the recording later, just email me, and once it is finished, I will send that your way. So several different people in the comments, I played around yesterday with School AI, but I do prefer ChatGPT, Ms. Grosvenor. Yep, I'm with you. I have started using Gemini a little bit more, and it's a pretty awesome tool. But I'm like Ms. Liddell. I use ChatGPT most. It's my go-to. It's almost like it's learned me, and so I'm kind of kind of used to it. So I'm going to have to spend some more time with Gemini. So, and then I see that Mr. Tesno had popped in. So thanks so much for being here and popping in. Guys, I appreciate your time. I'm going to hang out, make sure I'm the last one in here. So if anybody wants to stick around and play with some things or ask questions, please do so. I will stop the recording, but I appreciate your time. And we will be in touch with what is coming next month.